Hi everyone. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. Thank you all for calling in. Sorry I'm a little bit late. The grocery store is unpredictable, but I'll be right back and we will get started in just a couple of minutes. Thank you. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and get started because we have a full lineup of people on this call, and this way we can make it through everybody's intro and quick announcements before we wind through a whole hour. My name is Melissa. I am one of the co-facilitators of our Ivy Community Network. We love to start our meeting with the land acknowledgement, so I'll read the one that we use that comes from, oh man, it's like the U.S. Department of Native Lands. I have the PDF if anybody wants. I'm always happy to share it. We would like to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Chumash people and pay our respects to elders both past and present. We honor the traditional territory as well as stories and contributions of the Chumash people to the land upon which we gather and create. It feels extra important during this time of not getting to be physically in person that we are still connected to the land upon which we live and love, particularly as the co-op as of yesterday. That we closed escrow yesterday in 2013 on our building after our big building crowdfund, and I am a person that remembers those dates. And I think it is significant to always say that we own our building and we own this property, but we are here as residents on land that we do not own. And so I just want to presence that, especially at this anniversary of Project We Own It. And if you're a supporter of Project We Own It, which you can still read about online, thank you. Your co-op has been a building owner successfully since 2013, which is pretty amazing. So to all of that, I will pass this on. We start the meeting with intro and quick announcements. If we can keep announcements to like a minute or less, that will help us get through everybody and still have time for the rest of the agenda. So I'm going to go down the participants panel, trying my best. It sometimes moves around, but we'll do what we can. Thank you all, and why don't we punt it to Jonathan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I'm the general manager of the Isla Vista Community Services District. Don't have a specific announcement right now.
Thanks, Jonathan. How about Alex?
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Yao, the new Chief of Police at UC Santa Barbara Police Department. I just heard about this meeting from Gary a few minutes ago, so unfortunately, I won't be able to stay for much for the rest of the meeting. But I really want to stop by and say hi to everyone and just introduce myself. And I plan to come back at the future meetings to stay longer. Unfortunately, my schedule is already packed, so there's some conflicts. So, but I just want to stop by and introduce myself and say hi and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Alex. Welcome to the community and welcome to our meeting. If you send over your email, I can just make sure that you're on the email updates. It's every other week, but it gets boggled here and there. So please send that over. I'm happy to put you on the list and welcome.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. How about Anna?
Hi, I'm Anna Jensen. I'm the director of IV Arts at Ucsb, and it's great to see you guys. And I've been passing on a lot of this info to the Word Magazine journalists, and they're excited to hear about everything going on. We don't have a lot going on because everything is closed down. So nice to see you all.
Thanks, Anna. How about Ash? Sorry, caught you drinking.
Hi, I'm Ash. I'm in Vista and Food Not Bombs and one of the RPD directors. The thing I wanted to share with everybody is that an Vista project called the Isla Vista Food Forest Project started this past weekend. RPD is working with us on a spot in Estero Park between the basketball courts and the gated community gardens. But this place won't be gated. It's fenced off right now because caution taped off right now because there are big holes in the ground where fruit trees are going to go like next week or something. There's going to be avocado, plum, tangerine, a bunch of fruit trees. What we did last week is sheet mulching, which is where you put a layer of cardboard and organic matter and soil and wood chips. And that chokes out weeds that were there before. And they don't get enough sunlight and they die before they go to seed and turn back into soil. Fungi love cardboard, so fungi end up like eating the cardboard and creating the networks that forests thrive on. So look forward to that new space that will help us with food security. We're also going to do garden beds in there that are going to be open to everyone. There's going to be some annuals like kale and stuff in there. We're going to do some native restoration like sage. There's going to be a multi-species habitat. We're going to make sure lizards have a place to go there with sandstone. So yeah, Vista meeting tomorrow. John put the info there, and there's an RPD meeting tonight at 5:30.
Thanks, Ash. Awesome. And the Food Forest has an Instagram also that you guys can follow. Even if you don't have Instagram, you can still go to the website of Instagram and see the photos. It's really inspiring to watch the progress. Population change. How about Angela? Can I get an FM to the front? Okay, why don't we move to Angela? Can you hear me? You might have just called in.
Yeah, it might be me. Like I just got it. I just logged in.
Welcome to our meeting. We're in introduction, so you can just say your name and if you're representing something, or if you're just calling as a community member, which is also fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just here as a community member, and I'm currently in Armenia, so that's why the time zone I got confused. It's like a 12-hour difference. So I'm happy to be here, to be involved in the in this. I was introduced to this meeting by my class. I'm in Vista 130, so I'm interested to learn more.
Thank you so much for taking the time to click in from Armenia. That's like, I think that's probably the furthest away maybe that somebody's ever participated from. So now we have a global, global contributions happening. That's really amazing. Sorry. Okay, I will get past that nugget and move along, but that's really cool. Thank you for calling in. How about Atnika? Oh, you're welcome. How about Atnika?
Hi, I'm a reporter with the Daily Nexus, and I'm just kind of here to see what's happening in the community.
Awesome. Thank you for calling. How about Brianna?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Brianna Miller. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director at Ucsb's CARE office. So we provide survivor services and prevention education for sexual assault, dating, domestic violence, stalking, and harassment. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for calling in. It's great. How about Deborah?
Hi, my name is Deborah Anderson, and I'm the Assistant General Manager at the Isla Vista Community Services District. It's good to see everybody again.
Yay. How about Elijah?
Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Elijah from Cookies Cannabis, just community engagement. No updates, just here, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thanks, Elijah. How about Emily?
Hi, I'm just a community member, and I was introduced to this meeting through Vista.
You have a good Vista presence today. This is great. Thank you guys for calling in. How about Ebony?
Hi, my name's Ebony. I'm also a community member that is one of John's Ecovista members too.
Awesome. And you can see in the chat, John giving a little explanation about timing and how we have so much Ecovista presence in this meeting. And thank you again for the invite. This morning was fun, although I was very pre-caffeinated tired. Better now. How about Gary?
Hi, thanks, Melissa. Gary Gaston, UCSB Police Department Community Outreach Team. Quick announcements. We're underway with a new video campaign to enhance our recruitment efforts and community outreach and transparency. The first video that we put on our YouTube site is entitled Life as a UCSB Police Officer. It's currently on YouTube. I'll put the connect for this on the chat line here momentarily. But we're also looking to populate our Instagram account as well as our YouTube account with this campaign. Also, we're re-upping our Cycling with the Police. On Wednesday, the 27th, we're partnered with the SBSO, and we'll be riding bikes to various locations with kids associated with the St. George Youth Center. Side note, we will be in accordance to all the COVID-19 provisions for Santa Barbara County, just throwing that out there. And then lastly, we have launched our new website. I will put the website info in the chat as well. The website is replacing our old website and has all the information about UCSB Police Department, along with a tab for the new release of the Gaucho Guardian. The Gaucho Guardian is a blog that discusses crime prevention, safety awareness, and the quality of life issues pertaining to UCSB and Isla Vista. So I'll put the links to all those in the chat and come check us out. If anyone in this panel has any ideas of stuff they'd like to see in our blog, our blog, please let me know. I'd love to get some of your ideas on that to be able to write on in our blog. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Gary. That was a great announcement. And we'll have a little more time in the agenda, hopefully, if there's more questions to ask back to law enforcement about any of that update. How about Gina next?
Hi, Gina Fisher, Office of 3rd District County Supervisor Joan Hartman.
Thank you for calling. And we'll do a 3rd District update when we finish introductions. How about Jackie next?
Hi, everybody. Jackie Curda, Director of UCSB's Alcohol and Drug Counseling Education, Prevention, and Recovery Program. Nice to see you all.
And how about Jay?
Jay Freeman. I'm on the Board of Directors of the Isla Vista Community Services District and the Local Agency Formation Commission. I am representing neither of them here today. I am here in my own capacity.
Awesome. And how about Jeffrey?
Hello, everyone. This is Jeffrey Holly. I'm a professor of anthropology at UCSB, currently in my garage. And Lisa Roche gave me a talk yesterday about working in IV and gave me learn more about it. We currently have a project on COVID.
I think it was a little bit hard to hear you and what you just announced. I'm not sure if others had trouble hearing. Maybe if you want to try again or plop it in the chat and we can read what you announced. Because it sounded interesting. I have an anthro degree from UCSB, so I think selfish vested interest because you're an anthro professor.
Can I hop in, Melissa, really quickly? That's Professor Hawley, and he has an anthropology class at UCSB that we've been partnering with Kcsb News and offering some of our journalism workshops to his students. So I told him about their class project is covering, they focus on Isla Vista for their class project. So I suggested he talk to you and to come to this meeting, and there might be some of the students here as well.
Awesome. Welcome to our meeting. Welcome to our little meeting that has like at least 10 people more than usual, which is fantastic. And I saw John's note that will grow probably with Ecovista's presence, which is amazing. That's what this is about. And if this can create more opportunities for networks and trust bridges and like people seeing each other's faces to make a more inspired Isla Vista, that's what this is about. This is awesome. So thank you for participating. And Joan is on. Joan, how about you go for your introductions and short announcements and then 3rd District update next.
Joan Hartman, 3rd District County Supervisor.
Thank you. How about John?
John Foran, Ecovista, hope it is okay that the students will be coming. We're pretty thrilled about this opportunity. So thanks for everything you do.
It's great. Katerina.
Hi, Catalina Zamora with the Alcohol and Drug Program, County of Santa Barbara Behavioral Wellness. No announcements at this time.
Great. Kim.
Hi, everyone. Kim Equinoa, she, her pronouns, and I'm from UCSB's Dean of Students Office. It's good to see you.
Hello. Jonathan, do you want to go now? I see your little chat notice.
Oh yeah, I did have an announcement that for some reason my brain forgot about. But on Monday, as a day of service, AmeriCorps and Northern Santa Barbara County United Way, who we partner with to run Isla Vista Beautiful, there's a day of service from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Totally social distanced, household or individual only. But we'll be inviting everybody to come volunteer with us to go around town, pick up some trash, but also use our SeeClickFix app to find issues so that our Isla Vista Beautiful workers can go out and fix them in the weeks after. So really encourage everyone to sign up. I'll put the link in the chat for where you can sign up, and you'll basically sign up for a shift, when to show up, so you can not show up in a group and pick up your supplies and get a route to go around town. So we'd really appreciate as many volunteers. We have 15 as of yesterday, but the more, the better. And yeah, it'd be great to see, or not see you all there, but have you all there on Monday. Thank you. I'll put the link in the chat.
Thanks, Jonathan. Let's see. I think we left off at Kirsten, if I'm right.
Hi, everyone. Kirsten Destler. I'm Director of Government Relations at UC Santa Barbara. And on Tuesday night, I was officially sworn in to serve as the Chancellor's representative on the Ivcsd. So,
cool.
Yay me. So, hello, everyone.
Congratulations. That's exciting. Leah, I think. Do you go by Leah? Leah Aloha? You're next.
It's Leah Aloha.
Leah Aloha, thank you.
I'm here representing the pharmacy. I'm here to listen and here to learn and see how we can help.
Thank you. Your name is beautiful. Sorry I butchered it. I'll get it next time. How about Leonore?
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Leonore Reyes with the St. George Youth Center YMCA here in Isla Vista.
Okay. How about Libby?
Hi, I'm Libby, and I am in John's Eco Vista class, and I'm really excited to be here and learn more.
Thank you, Libby. How about Lisa?
I am Lisa Osborne, News and Public Affairs Director at Kcsb, and we're in the process of training about 20-something brand new reporters who are part of our Sociology 91 class, which is, we offer course credit once a year. So some of you might be hearing from some of our new reporters.
Cool. That's a cool class. How about Lori?
Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Goodman, the Executive Director of Isla Vista Youth Projects. I do have a couple of announcements. One is that we're continuing our twice monthly food distribution, the first and third Thursdays of the month by appointment. And I'm delighted to share that beginning next Thursday, we're going to be distributing diapers as well. Such a need and expense. We also are we've recruited and we've trained 50 COVID health ambassadors to reach out to the Latinx community to educate about COVID prevention. And so a couple of them are UCSB alumni, and we're excited to be supporting the community in that way.
Thanks, Lori. How about Luis?
Hi, Luis Valerio, Recreation Coordinator for the Isla Vista Rec and Park District. And yeah, I just want to echo Ash's comments about the food forest. We broke ground on this past Saturday, so we're looking forward to that project. And it's actually part of a bigger tree mitigation project where we're going to be planting 15 new trees in our parks. 6 of them, as Ash mentioned, are going to go to that Estero site where the food forest is going to be at. Another 6 fruit trees will be going into the Sueño Orchard, which is currently closed. And then another 3 trees are going to go to our Trigo Pesado Park. So we're really looking forward to that. The tree should be coming in next week. So the next couple of weeks, you will see our grounds team out in our parks planting new trees. So we're really excited about that.
That's exciting. Thanks, Louise. And thank you, Jeff, for popping into the chat your intro. That's awesome. It's so cool. This is a great meeting lineup. I'm tickled by all of these announcements and intros. Looks like Marcelina just called in. So if you're ready, Mars, and want to do an intro, it's actually your turn via alphabetical.
Hi, I'm here. Sorry about that. I wasn't really expecting to pop in like this, but let me make less noise in the room. Okay. My name is Marcelino. I'm the Executive Director of Santa Barbara Student Housing. And I'm sorry I haven't been able to catch most of the meetings lately. I wanted to get more up to date on COVID response in our community. That's primarily why I wanted to tune in today, particularly with the vaccinations. Since we provide group housing, it's a priority for us here. So, hi everybody, check.
Thanks for calling and being put in the hot seat. You happen to just populate right at the moment of your name. So now I'll move to Nathan.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm just here representing the Perdal Center.
Hi, Nate. Thank you. How about Omari?
Hello, everyone. Omari Pryor. I am the Communication Manager for UCSB's Alcohol, Drug, Counseling, Education, and Recovery Program.
Awesome. Thanks for calling. How about Rodney?
Hello, everybody. I'm Rodney Gould. I'm the Isla Vista Community Advisor for Associated Students, and in normal times, I work out of the Pardal Center.
Thanks, Rodney. Next. Oh, wait till he goes. Next up is Spencer, and I think Rodney might need to mute again. There's a little background noise.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I'm Spencer Brandt. I'm the president of the Isla Vista Community Services District Board, and wanted to just give a reminder on the subject of COVID that there is free testing happening at the Isla Vista Theater this Friday and Saturday from noon to 5 p.m. And that's going to be going on for the weeks to come as well. So I'll throw that in the chat.
Thanks, Spencer. How about Tori?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tori Saunders. I'm a police officer with the UCSB's Police Department, currently assigned to community outreach, and I'm working from home today. So that's why my hair is not in a bun and I'm not in my polo, but I'm still here in spirit. I don't have any updates, just reflecting on what Gary said. We are restarting our community rides at the St. George Youth Center. So our first ride is this Thursday from about 3:15 to 5. It'll be a quick, short ride to Goleta Beach and back. So if you know any kids or you want to participate yourself, please let us know. You can reach out to myself, Gary, or Leonore, the St. George Youth Center, and we're happy to get you assisted with that. Additionally, I talked to Justin Schroeder just before the meeting. He's not able to be here. He's not able to be here today. He's at training. So he just wanted to let me know, to let you all know that he wishes he could be here, but he's not. So.
Thanks for the updates, Tori. And the chat is quite live with lots of updates and links and reminders. So please do scroll that chat and I'll try to save that and email out some high points from what everybody is looking for support with. This is great. How about Viviana?
Hi, everybody. Viviana Marzano, Civic and Community Engagement at UCSB. I would like to expand a little bit on Spencer's announcement about the COVID testing in IV. We had it in the fall and it wasn't that successful. So this quarter, my office and the CSD partnered to provide incentives for people to come and get tested. And guess what? We got 563 people last weekend. Of course, whatever we brought was not enough, but I want to mention that there was a really nice mix of Santa Barbara City College students, UCSB, and Latinx families on the line. I got there at 11:45 and there were already 80 people registered. And then I have a question for the group. You can send me information in the chat. There is a sorority at UCSB that would like to bring care packages to the houseless community in IV. So I want to know which one you think it's better, People's Park, tiny homes, if there are any requirements of what people can bring, procedures, if we are allowed to do that or not, and a good contact person. You can send me messages in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Viviana. I think there's some folks on the call that probably have the direct emails. Probably the Good Samaritan folks would be a good reach out because they're hosting the tiny home site and also the campground area. But I know there's other folks on the call that have a lot more detailed knowledge and that somebody can ping Viviana with that information. And next up is Yasmin for an intro.
Hi everyone, Yasmin, Associated Students, External Vice President for Local Affairs.
Thank you. And did anybody call in that did not get to do an intro as we went down the participant list? Did we miss anybody?
Hi, Melissa.
You made it. Diana made it on the call. Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone. This is Diana Puente. I'm the Director of Community Affairs, Student Development, and Leadership for Associated Students.
Thank you for calling. Okay, wow. That was a solid lineup of intros. There's currently 37 participants in the meeting, which is glorious. And so for those new to Ivcn, we do have an agenda. We keep it kind of loose though, because sometimes intros take a longer time like they did today. And so we'll roll into our regular agenda, and those that don't have updates obviously don't have to update. And if anybody wants to add anything at the end, if there's time, we will happily take your announcement. So we'll move into our 3rd district report next up.
Okay, well, this is Joan Hartman, and the county was largely closed over the holidays. We had our first board meeting on Tuesday, and the new chair and vice chair were sworn in. Supervisor Nelson, who's new to the board, replacing Supervisor Peter Adam, will be chair, and I'll be vice chair, and that just rotates. We had quite a briefing on COVID, and as Spencer already noted, there is testing in Isla Vista on Fridays and Saturdays, and there's been a lot of people taking advantage of that, and we're really great. That's great to see, and I believe that's just a walk-in. That's the only place where in the county you don't need to sign up first for an appointment. What I can say about COVID is something I think everybody here knows, that we're in a time where we have a steeply rising curve, and it's kind of a race between the vaccine and trying to keep people safe. And it's a really difficult time because people feel fatigued, we're tired of being isolated, and yet this is the very time where, if we're going to finish this in good form, we've got to hang in there. The vaccines are being given in phases, and this is somewhat fluid because the state directs the county how to do this, and some of their guidance has been changing, as well as guidance from the federal government. So I can give you just one example. Initially, vaccines were going to people 75 and over, but just this week we learned that it will be 65 and over. So the first phase, or first I won't get into the complexity of how they've organized it, but the first group basically is healthcare workers and people in congregate settings, those who live there and those who take care of them. And we're almost done with that group in the county. So the next will be people over 75, or I'm sorry, now over 65. And exactly how that's going to work is a bit unclear. Initially, the county public health is working with employers, and employers then get their people organized for the vaccination. But as you may have heard now, we have more vaccines coming because the federal government isn't holding back that second vaccine. They are assuming that more will be produced, and so they're getting everything out to the states and to the counties as soon as they can. So at some point, it probably won't be until spring, and I'm not sure exactly what spring means, until the general public can get vaccinated. And that will mean that it'll be through your healthcare provider, and exactly how that notification system will go. But it won't, maybe through the university, it would come through the university, i.e. like an employer. But in other cases, it'll come through your healthcare provider, or individuals will have to sign up for an appointment. So that's pretty much it on the COVID front. Gina's on the phone and she can chime in. I just wanted to say that I did have an opportunity for the first time to go visit the sobering center that Good Sam runs. It's been in operation now for 11 months over at the county campus, and it's really impressive. And the people who are serving clients there are also serving people at the Pallet Park in Isla Vista. And I had an opportunity to see the parks and see People's Park and see the Pallet Park, and it's moving smoothly. I think the one big takeaway for me was how important it is to get people stabilized when you're unsheltered and having to protect yourself and your belongings all night. Even your sleep cycles are disrupted. And so just getting people in a situation where their lives are stable, they can have appointments to get in the data system, get their documents ready, figure out what contacts they have. So I'm really, the fire department, because of the fire danger throughout the county from encampments, they have set up some working groups to try to look at this countywide. And then in February, we also have a task force, and the word they use is homelessness, a homeless task force, but that will be making a report in February about the various phases. But COVID happened after that, and I think there may be a lot of discussion about whether the priorities in that plan are still the priorities that we need going forward. So I think Gina might want to chime in, and then we're open for questions.
John pretty much covered it, other than the vaccinations is very much a moving target. I think the big takeaway is that we're beholden to the state that sets out the process. They have standards, they have a database that every person who receives a shot has to be registered in the database. Our county is beating the state average by a lot. We have a pretty big uptake in our frontline workers who have wanted the shot. There are other parts of the state where there's been a big decline rate among healthcare workers, which has been surprising to lots of people. And my expectation is that the governor, who's facing tremendous political pressure, will do everything and anything to get more shots in arms. So what we report today could very well change tomorrow. I think I saw a question in the chat from Lori, like, as an employer, I can't answer that question. I don't know, because like, for instance, senior congregate living facilities, like assisted living retirement communities, the state set up with Walgreens and CVS, months ago, that Walgreens and CVS medical professionals would just go into those facilities and administer the vaccines. So that's been happening totally separate from what the county's been doing. And so I don't know if certain classifications of employers certain classifications of frontline workers, like how that's going to work. I generally understand that like in the hospital settings and whatnot, the people that have gotten it so far, you register as an individual. Like within, you get a notification through your employer that you can register to schedule your shot. And that's how a lot of healthcare workers are getting it. But I also know, based on personal experience with a congregate care senior facility, that yes, the employer is taking the lead in registering all the employees for when the Walgreens or CVS come in. So the county, I know, is working right now on guidance, public guidance, to put out on social media and whatnot. I don't know. Same with grocery stores. I don't know. We just don't know. I mean, they have the very complex tier system, and it sort of says like classifications of like, if you're in this profession or this kind of housing setting, like this is where you fall in the tier system, but it doesn't get into the weeds of like, at least the public facing information. Okay. And then, the employer does this, or the individuals register. So.
And
Yeah.
I just will chime in, because of the RISE process, the county has a good database and set of contacts for various employment sectors across the county. So the county is reaching out to those that are in the first tier. The county has a number of people now dedicated to a hotline. They want first people to call 211, and then they will be transferred to the county public health hotline and can get more information there. But I would wait until next week. I think we're still trying to assimilate this change from 75 to 65, and so we're just struggling to pull all that together right now.
I'll put in the chat as far as if you have specific questions like that. Their public health said that they haven't. Joan mentioned the hotline, but there's also an email that you can send an email to, and they have some full-time staff responding to the email to help with these kind of specific questions.
That'll be very helpful. Thank you.
I think so. We had the testing, the vaccination. I will mention, and Joan kind of touched on this, like, a lot of people are really frustrated with our tier assignment right now that we are shut down because of ICU capacity. And for many weeks, Santa Barbara County had a lot of ICU space, but we were lumped in with the Southern California region. And so a lot of business owners, reasonably asked the Board of Supervisors to ask the governor to make a Central Coast region, because our county, Ventura County and SLO County, had ample ICU bed space available for many weeks in December when Southern California was at like 0%. And they listened to our request and never responded. But by the time the Board of Supervisors could really push for response, our ICU capacity is basically down to 0 in our county, and our case rates continue to climb. And I've noticed IV in the most recent is still lower than other areas, but IV is trending up, as are so many regions of our county in positive cases. And so we are going to probably be stuck. We are going to be stuck in this tier, in this level of shutdown for at least another, I think, 3 to 4 weeks. And so we all really have an opportunity to distance, to stay home, to wear a mask everywhere in the county, to get us back down to where we have ICU bed space. Because until we have that, we're going to be stuck in the current lockdown that we're stuck in. And Sacramento County just got released back to the purple tier. So their barbershops, hair salons, and outdoor dining can open up again. And that's where we urgently want to go. And I know we can go, but as a math problem throughout this pandemic, no matter what our positive rate is in the county, how many active positive cases we have, 10 to 15% of that number will be in the hospital. And 3 weeks after that, 1% of that number will be in the ICU. That's just been consistent for 10 months. And so if we have 2,000 positive cases right now, we will have 200 people in the hospital. And that is almost exactly what we have right now. And of that, we know in the next 1 to 2 weeks, we will have the percentage of that in the ICU. And our case rate keeps climbing. We have not leveled off in our county. And so it's very, very, very important to everyone to take this very, very, very seriously, because it's like we're all suffering to an extent, some worse than others. And we can get back to that purple tier where we can have some outdoor dining and we can have some people return to work safely. But we've got to get our numbers down. And our ICU is pretty stretched right now. The other thing I want to mention is there is testing in IV. I know a lot of people go to that, but then there's also testing in Santa Barbara. For the same set of testing, it's the county partnering with the state. You can go to the Goleta Valley Community Center. For those, you'd schedule online instead of walk-in. So we can spread the word about that too, that if people don't want to walk in, they'd rather have an appointment, and they're able to go to either Goleta Valley Community Center, or there's a mobile one that can handle a much bigger volume for the next 2 weeks at the SenCal parking lot, which is it's like in Santa Barbara. It's not far from IV. And so there's ample opportunity to get tested. We encourage people to keep on getting tested. And I think that is all. So I'll put some links to some of the vaccine stuff in the chat. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing. We get a lot of questions in our office about the ICU capacity, and we need to clarify that it's not licensed beds, but it's how many staff are available to work with the patients. So that ICU capacity changes, and we're requesting assistance from throughout the state, trying to hire people who can work as nurses and technicians for ICU beds. So that number changes. It's not constant.
Yes, that is a good point. I mean, you can make an ICU bed space in a closet if you had to. It's the staff.
Okay. Any questions for the 3rd district about any of these updates? Keeping an eye on the time, we are at 12:43, so we will go as much as we can through other things. There is a question in the chat. Just as a clarifying question, we do not have our own Central Coast region, right? We are still within Southern California.
Oh, in Southern California, correct.
Yeah,
I think 13, it's 11 or 13 counties, and it's like a big U shape around the state. It goes all the way up to Inyo and Mono County, all the way down Highway 395 to all of Southern California, and then up the Central Coast, including us, and then SLO County above us.
Awesome. I think what we'll do is, since this is a bi-weekly meeting, obviously we'll just keep, this is a huge important topic. The vaccination conversation is really important topic. And if there's updates in between meetings, obviously we can send out via the list. And Gina and Joan are really good at sharing between meetings as necessary. So
there was one other thing, Melissa, I want to mention. Melissa emailed me because she's had this experience. Can I talk about a little bit about this?
Yeah.
Because I have something to add to that that I could email you, but and I don't know if other businesses have experienced this, but the co-op unfortunately has been the target of some really nasty, these are my words, not Melissa's.
Thank you.
Anti-mask provocateurs. And it's really hard for a small business to navigate that and to keep their employees safe and whatnot. And I reached out to our county to see if other small businesses have been experiencing this. And I will say, Melissa, I read in the LA Times that a very similar sounding group have been going throughout LA County and doing this. And the thought is that they're actually just trying to provoke an altercation to happen so that they could claim or allege, or they could be on the receiving end of violence and then just sue based on that. So I'm guessing that might be the reasoning for why they're coming to provoke. So if anybody hears of any aggressive, and it's from out of the community is my understanding too, aggressive anti-mask behavior towards small businesses, go on and let our office know, because I'm very interested to see if it's happening elsewhere.
Thank you. And actually, if there's no further questions, it's a good segue, and I'm going to keep the next bit brief. Are there any more questions for 3rd District? Okay. So that's a really good segue into something that I just wanted to pop on the agenda just briefly, because I could probably talk for a year, because it's been a year, about this. What Gina was just referring to is something, yes, the co-op has experienced, unfortunately in the last month, some uptick in anti-mask stuff leading to potential unpleasant outcomes in terms of legal recourse. To that point, I want everybody on the call, particularly anybody on the call that owns a business or works at a business, to understand Osha Law AB685, sorry, perfect timing. So Osha AB685 passed through closed doors. It started being worked on November 30th of last year. It passed without any outside support, even from businesses. So as of January 1st, any business in California that employs 2 or more people is required to have a COVID prevention plan in their workplace. This puts a whole bunch of responsibility on the workplace to identify and mitigate all hazards as they pertain to potential exposures in the workplace. You'll hear me in serious voice about this because this has completely changed how the co-op is functioning. Not that we weren't doing great COVID work before. It requires an insane amount of tracking, training, ongoing hazard abatement, having a safety committee to really make sure that every bit of this workplace is as hazard-free as possible. Even that our bookkeeper just came in, obviously, in his PPE. I am back here in the office. We have to keep as 6 feet as we can. We need airflow, but it has to all be documented now. AB 685 is a protection for workers in a workplace. This came about because there's a lot of workplaces that are not protecting their workers. So small businesses do not necessarily know about this law. We didn't know about it until our insurance broker held a webinar. So I wanted to at least presence that this law exists right now in California. It's a big one, AB 685. If you are dealing with something in your workplace around mask wearing or people not wearing masks, this protects workers' rights from these hazards. The co-op is closing tonight early to do our all-worker training around our prevention plan. We at the co-op have a reasonable accommodation. So if you are claiming that you need an exemption for medical, mental health, or religious reasons, you can use our curbside shopping program. That's a legal exemption that's allowed to pass through. And so what Gina was talking about people trying to escalate, everything we're trying to do is offer solutions and de-escalate, but it comes all back to this new Osha law that passed that is the ultimate protection of workers in a workplace. If you work somewhere and you haven't heard about this yet, you should ask your supervisor or manager about your COVID prevention plan. OSHA can now come and inspect any business with 2 or more workers in California. Are they going to come to the Ivy Food Co-op? Who knows? I would like to think we're not that special, but then the flip side is, of course, they would show up here. So we want to be ready because we can be fined a lot of money for not actually mitigating any known hazards of COVID-19 in our workplace. So we are happy to share our plan that we wrote. We got some support from another food co-op. So if anybody on the call is interested or in a workplace that's really small that doesn't have the resources, we didn't have the resources either. We got some help from other people. We're happy to share anything we've been working on. We're happy to share our training that we're doing tonight with our workers to make it easier for a small business to fall into compliance for this. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I just really wanted to at least mention it briefly because clearly this is becoming worse, not better. And if we all can do this above board and share in our own workplaces the responsibility that we have at work and outside of work, I think it's going to be a lot healthier and safer. The co-op of old will not come back. And that's like a really big thing for our community to understand. Any small business pre-pandemic is being tasked with crazy amounts of new compliance guidelines, everything health and safety related. This is a 2-year guideline. So this emergency temporary change from OSHA will overarch past what hopefully is the acute pandemic. That means that our business has to comply with this unless they change the standard within 2 years. So not that fun, especially not that fun because we had to do this all during Christmas and New Year's because there was no time to implement this before the law actually went into effect. So again, if anybody wants to see what we've done, we're happy to share. We don't want anybody else to be put into a situation where you didn't know about this compliance requirement, but it's also a protection. Again, if somebody comes to the co-op and claims that they don't need to wear a mask, they do because of AB 685 so that our workers are protected from COVID. I will now exit my COVID soapbox. If there's any questions about this, please let me know or email me and I'm happy to share other information. Thank you. Now we have 10 minutes since I have taken a bunch of our time. If we want to jump into an AS update or any other COVID updates that might pertain to AS or otherwise. So if Yasmin wants to go, you are welcome to.
Yeah, I have a few updates from AS. As you all know, we ran out of the masks we were distributing back in fall, so we're placing another order. We were able to pull together $19,000 from different UCSB orgs, including Ivcrc, the EVPSA office, and Cosweb. And so the masks are gonna arrive in about 2 weeks. We're gonna get about 5,000 of them, so hopefully we can start distributing them again. IVTU is reopening their emergency fund tomorrow, and this time around they're going to be funding undergrads for groceries and food delivery. And yesterday we had our first meeting with the police advisory board. We're going to be meeting once a month from now on to create a mission statement, but also come up with action items for how we want to proceed for the rest of the year. And we are still working on our proposal to bring out the food bank into IV as well. That's all the updates I had.
Thanks, Yasmin. Any questions for AS for any of the updates? It's been really amazing to watch programs continue to be considered and really shifting how AS is approaching some of their community work to really continue to be a resource through what's now almost a year of this pandemic. So you guys should feel really proud. It's a strange term to be in office, but you guys are really accomplishing some important things. Okay. Next, I have on an Ivcsd update, if we have one. I'm not sure.
Hey, Melissa and everyone. I can give a brief update. We had a good holiday season, like I think a lot of us did, so there's not a whole lot to share. But I do want to announce that we're going to have a meeting that we've put together in conjunction with Supervisor Hartman's office and the county planning staff to go over planning in Isla Vista. There's been a lot of discussion, especially now during COVID, about our built environment and transportation and how working from home for a lot of people has changed so much of that. So we're hoping to get a presentation on what was in the Isla Vista master plan, which, as many of you know, never got adopted, and really use it just as an opportunity to learn and potentially start the conversation about planning in Isla Vista. So that's going to happen next Wednesday, the 27th at 5 p.m. So be on the lookout for that. Jonathan will send out the agenda and the Zoom link once we've got that document.
And Melissa, if I might add, this is something that the Eco Vista people were especially eager to get involved with.
This is awesome. That's a great coming together. The master plan is from long ago. And that actually, when I was a student at UCSB in 1999 as a freshman, I remember all the planning boards in the Ivcn for the future master plan and thinking to myself, isn't that funny? All those people in the distant future that will be around in Isla Vista dealing with this master plan, never would have thought that I would be sitting here. So to students on the call, you never know where life might take you. And if you notice something in this year, it just might come right back around full circle. Isla Vista has that magic. Okay, we have a few minutes left. So any questions for CSD about those updates? Okay. And we'll share, of course, any relevant meetings regarding this also with the Eco Vista crew. We have a good representation with Ash and John, but now with others on the call, I think it'll be a nice ongoing bridge of communication. Okay, we have a little bit of time if we want to do a law enforcement update. I think we still have people on the call.
Hello, Melissa, Gary with the UC.
Yeah.
We don't have much of an update. We had a fairly uneventful holiday season, which was great for us, but not too much to update other than Alex Yao, our new chief, who's promising to come to some of the other meetings in the future, given availability. He's prioritized coming to meet everyone and to talk to this panel, but just unable to do it at the very moment. So possibly next week or the following. So no other updates for us.
Great, thanks, Gary. Any questions for any law enforcement that are on the call? I think we just have UCPD here today. Okay, great. And as Gary mentioned right at the beginning, and I think if you scroll up the chat, you'll see a note for their new blog, and law enforcement is looking for inclusion of stories for their blog. Did I say that right? You might want to say. Thank you. Awesome. Okay.
Yes, please give us ideas of what to write about. If there's something you may have wanted to hear law enforcement comment on, of course, it has to be appropriate. You don't want the subject matter to be too heavy, but it also doesn't have to be superficial either. So we're just looking for stuff to write upon. We've probably got 2 articles up now with more to come as we get them approved.
Cool. Thank you, Gary. Okay. Well, with 4 minutes left, after a very rich round of intros and announcements, we have a little time if there's anything that anybody wanted to hear about today that wasn't discussed, or any follow-up questions. Okay. I will leave us with a co-op announcement. Our beautiful new produce cooler is installed and running. The timing of the delays required our produce manager to leave for his vacation, which was prearranged. So it'll be loaded early next week for the biggest wall of beautiful produce Isla Vista has ever seen. So thank y'all for your patience through a 5-day install that turned into 5 weeks. It was a real 2020 windup. So thank you for that. Oh, and Tori made an announcement that Justin has trainings on the 2nd and 4th Thursday, and so he can't come until she switch back. So we'll see upcoming dates. You know, this is fluid. We're doing bi-weekly. The next meeting is proposed for the 28th, which is the 4th. I think it's the 4th Thursday, I'm assuming. But for now, we'll stick with this, and then if there's an interest in the team to move any of these dates or weeks, we can do that. This is our meeting, and we do what we want. Anyway, on that note, I'll wind us up with 2 minutes extra to go jump out into the beautiful sunshine, proving why January in Santa Barbara is the best. Have an announcement. Never mind. Well, the speaker at the co-op is live. Thank you guys for coming, and have a nice day. And check the chat. I'm going to try to scoop the chat before, Jonathan, don't close the chat yet. I'll try to email out anything that is an important update from the meeting. Thank you all so much, and have a nice day.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. That was great.